All right, here we go. Guys, welcome. It's Prepared Citizens here, with Miss Grit and Grace. We are going to be talking about chickens and gardening tonight. Guys, Grace has been doing the chickens and gardening thing for about 5 years, and I've just been doing it for, let's see, I think around June will be a year for me. I'm very new to it. This is not I'm not an expert in any of this. I'm actually learning. And Grace is still, you would say you're still learning too,
I don't think
but
you're ever done learning.
oh, yeah, that's true. She's ahead of the game compared to me, though. So um, we're going to just really talk about our journeys and like what we know and stuff. Try to help you guys that may be getting started in this to help you avoid. And we're going to go through a few questions that I got written up for starting out with chickens and garden. I got to get a garden started this year. I've been bad. And of course, guys, if any of you out there, you got your coffee, have it hot and strong, like our women, and have your whiskey in hand because it could get wild just in case. Anywho, you ready to do this?
Let's do it.
Which one you want to start with, gardening or chickens?
Oh,
Does
you
anybody?
pick. You go.
uh, let's see. I'm gonna save gardening for last because that's something I need to do.
Okay.
Um, I'll probably be jotting down my own notes on that, but I guess we'll start with chickens. And guys, after I ask a question and Grace gives us an answer, you guys can feel free to kind of chime in if there's something you want to add to it or anything like that, because I suck at questions. So usually questions is how I roll. Anywho, and we've talked about this a little bit, Grace. So where to start? This is something I had a lot of trouble with, like finding somewhere online. A lot of things you can go to, I don't know, a website or something, but I think me and
Right.
you agreed. You said YouTube was a good
Yeah,
place.
YouTube. There's groups on Facebook. I mean, you got the
Mm,
internet at your fingertips.
yeah, I forgot about Facebook. As much as I don't like Facebook, it is very good, I would say, when it comes to like groups.
Yeah, for sure.
I know I'm in like a Toyota group or a Forerunner group. For the Toyota Forerunner group. Good glory, I'll get it in a minute. And that thing helps me a lot with Forerunner issues, so that's pretty cool.
But yeah,
And
I
what's up,
mean, as
everybody in
far
the
as
chat?
yeah, I can't see the chat.
Oh, and are you on your phone?
Yep.
Okay, we got some warriors in here. We got Scoot, Justin B, Lawfully Armed, Sassy, Bobby Bama. What's up, man? Demo Man Don. Y'all, and just real quick, I'm not gonna get into this. I look like a wreck. If you guys are praying type people, just pray for my dad. There's been a lot going on with that, but everything so far so good. So we're just gonna press on. But anywho, that's why we're a day late on this. It's not Grace's fault, it's mine. But so yeah, Facebook groups a good place to start as far as research goes. And what's up, Tin Man Metal? And this is a big question that I thought was a good one, or it may not be, but I thought it was. So when you're getting started buying the chicks or chickens, when you're wanting chickens, is it better to like go to Tractor Supply and just pick some up, or do you like find some that are a little older? What do you recommend starting with?
I mean, honestly, it just depends on the person and if you have time to fool with chicks and if you don't. If you want eggs right now or you want eggs 6 months from now. Um, I guess the best place that I could say to start if you want to learn it to like raise them, get them as chicks. I would honestly go to a feed store versus like a Tractor Supply or even go through
Yeah.
a hatchery.
Okay.
But I mean, first research, you need to know how much land you're going to dedicate to your flock. because they'll start pecking the crap out of each other if they're overcrowded. What your climate's like. There's a lot of different variables there, but yeah, definitely it's easier to learn from chicks, I think, anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, it was I guess real quick, I'll tell people how I got started. I was totally I can't say that on YouTube. I was totally goofy. I was not very smart when I got started. I was sitting at a local Jack's, which is a hillbilly-ish fast food place close to us. If you're in the South, you know exactly what Jack's is. And a lot of old timers like to eat in there, eat breakfast in there. And I was beside this old timer. I always like just they're sitting beside me. I'm like, hey, how you doing today? Blah blah blah. And he said he is tending his chickens, and I just made the comment like, I need to get me some chickens. I've been wanting some, but I have no idea where to start. And he said, come see me, and I'll sell you some chickens and a coop. So no joke. Later that day, he gave me his number. I rolled out there. He sold me 6 of the banty chickens, the little chickens. I got 3 hens, 3 roosters, and an entire coop with a little water thing. And now we have chickens. And I had no idea. I got way too many roosters as well.
Find you an old timer in some overalls. They're a
Yeah,
wealth of
yeah.
knowledge.
No, he really is smart, and he's a good one to go to for advice too. But the chickens I got, they were all about 2 months old, I would say. I think that's what he told us. It was like 2 months. They were still they wasn't full grown. But it worked out because my daughters, they all are like pets. They all have names, and they all are like little pets to us. Like they'll come to you and everything. They're not scared of you. And I know you mentioned that too about getting them and raising them from when they're young.
Right. Because I mean, if they wind up with bumblefoot, or if they get an egg stuck, or you need to be able to handle your chickens, and they need to be able to trust you. Otherwise, it's going to be a nightmare because it's going to be hard to catch them, and it's going to stress the bird out even more.
I got a question.
Okay.
So, what's up, Demo Man, Tin Man, Tactical Muffin Top? Hope you guys are good. Um, so you said, Bubblefoot? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Like if it could be
what is
something
that?
sharp. It could be from anything sharp. Like if you missed, say, a staple or a wood chip or something, and it just happens to enter
Oh,
the foot, and they can't get it out, and it's kind of like you having a splinter in your hand or in your foot,
okay.
and you just let it go,
Yeah.
and it'll get
Okay.
infected. I mean, it's a mess.
And then
Luckily, I've only had to deal with that one time.
you gotta like amputate your chicken's leg. Or I hope that's what we're trying to avoid, y'all. I was just kidding.
Yeah,
Oh
you can
man.
make a solution and soak their foot in it. It's like basically you stick them down in a tote and you cut a hole in the lid big enough for the chicken if they can't get out. It's like just their head poking out, and then put the lid on so their feet are down in the solution. Yeah.
Okay. That's just worst case scenario. If I did have to amputate one of my chicken's legs, I would make him carve him out a little wooden peg leg and name him like Blackbeard or something. Arr. That's just me. You'd have to have fun with it, but hopefully take care of your chickens,
I've
Bubblefoot.
never seen a one-legged chicken run around. So if you happen to do that, please take some video.
That I could probably start a YouTube channel just on my little pirate chicken here. Raise the black flag from the coop when the
Oh,
chicken
peg
hawks
leg
come
Pete.
around. Oh shit. Sorry. All right, we're gonna get off pirate chickens. And so you said getting the egg stuck?
Yeah.
Man, is that
Sometimes, and
common?
it's called being egg bound. Sometimes it
Okay.
happens because I mean the egg is it's probably a double yolk egg.
Okay.
And I mean, there'll be times when you get eggs and you see like a stress mark around it. It's where they started to lay and couldn't finish, and it's like they took a break, and it just
Uh,
kind of put stress on the shell. But yeah, it meant they were having a really hard time passing it. So That
Okay.
was, I mean, that's the nice part about having chickens with different colored eggs. I know immediately what chicken that came from and which one to keep an eye on, so they don't get
Okay.
eggs.
Can you see the comment I put up there?
No, it is like super tiny.
Okay, that's what she said. So Sassy said, I fed chickens Hardee's biscuits a few times a week. Shake the bag. Chickens all. Oh yeah, yeah. I bet
Yeah,
chickens do like biscuits.
they love table scraps.
One of my good friends, I told you about her, uh, that owns the feed and seed store where I get my chicken feed and stuff. She
Hmm.
sold me a bag of like grub worms, like their dried out grub or whatever. Oh my gosh, it's hilarious. Those chickens go crazy over that stuff. It's like candy.
Mealworms, oh yeah, and black
Yeah.
soldier fly larvae, they love that too.
Oh man. Let's see. Scoot said one of my daughters, Chucked, had good grade. Am I reading this right? Scoot, we're both from Alabama, man. We're having a hard time. Chucked and splayed legs. Chucked and splayed legs. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, when
She
they're a
used a
chick,
couple
it's
of
like
stand eggs.
their legs kind of go out like this, and it's really
Oh,
hard
okay.
for them. So it's like you can use a rubber band and kind of make hobbles for them to like hold their little legs together, and it acts as a brace so that
Oh,
eventually
okay.
it'll straighten their legs out.
Okay. He meant, yeah. One of my daughter's chicks had splayed legs. Scoot, me and you're not that far apart. Send one of them on up to me. I'll practice making peg legs for him if you want. We can totally. I'm just. I shouldn't say that. That's horrible. I swear though, if I ever had one of my legs amputated, I would straight up want a peg leg.
You wouldn't want one of those bionic legs?
No, I don't want any of that new fancy stuff. I want a straight up peg leg. I want. It'd be cool if one of my warriors out here could make it for me and like put some cool engraving in it. That'd be cool. All right. What did Justin B say? I'm gonna need my what was that picture? I guess he's got like a little image. Anywho, okay, so yeah, go to a like feed and seed store to pick up new
Right.
chickens is
Because I
recommended.
mean, the caveat to that, I mean, usually hatcheries, notable hatcheries, are pretty good about like if there is splay leg, cross beak, any deformities, they usually won't ship those. And then you have some that will. They don't care. But usually, if you
Okay,
can go to the feed store and hand pick your chicks, that's probably your best bet.
okay, and I didn't. We didn't get into too much detail about it the other day. Um, didn't you say that Tractor Supply is like doing some kind of limit or something on chicks or
Ours,
something
yes.
like
I
that?
mean, I don't know if this is like across the board, but ours is like, I think 4 total, and
Huh.
they're not sexed. So, I mean, you could wind up with 4 roosters.
Oh, that would stink. I
Yeah.
know. So, Grace, you already know this. I've already told you, but um, my 3 hens, the only 3 hens I got, we took me and my family took a vacation a couple weeks ago, whenever that was, and my neighbor that was feeding my chickens while I was gone, I told him, I'm like, you can have whatever eggs they lay. I thought they've been laying 2 to 3 a day, and I felt so bad. They were sitting the day one he started feeding them. I felt so bad. So I gotta give him some eggs. I got some put up. But anywho, so we should be getting chicks at some point, and I just hope we don't get more roosters because we're gonna be getting rid of them if they roosters.
If they're doing it right and those eggs were fertilized between, I think it's like 18 and 21 days,
That's what
you
I've
should
heard
have
too.
babies. Some will hatch early, some will be late bloomers, some won't hatch at all.
Yeah,
But just
and
make
while
sure
we're
once they start hatching, you pull the ones that aren't out because those things will
okay,
get napped.
okay, got you. Yeah, that's what I was about to ask. So you recommend leaving the chicks with the moms? That what we?
Yeah, they'll they'll definitely protect the babies.
Okay. And is there any kind of special, like I've seen, and I know me and you don't agree with like Tractor Supply, but I have seen like feed that's like dedicated, like called startup feed or something like that.
Right.
Is that something? Would I need to buy that to put in
I would
there, or
recommend it, yeah, to get them started just because it has more of what they need. I mean, it's like feeding a puppy dog chow versus puppy chow. I mean, it's like the same thing.
okay?
The nutrients are a little different.
Demo Man Don says, "What's your cure for the egg eater chickens?"
You don't
I
want to know.
used I used I used wooden eggs in the boxes. Huh.
I've used dummy eggs, but some of them it doesn't deter. And I mean, if they're going to continue to reoffend, I'm not keeping them around. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, Tactical Muffin Top was very
Disclaimer.
Tactical Muffin TMT was very quick to respond. He says, "Eat 'em, Demo Man."
Exactly. Freezer
So
camp.
basically, yeah, Tactical Muffin Top recommends honey glazed barbecue. Or that's my recommendation, I guess. Oh man. Oh, that's funny. Tin Man Metal. He had a good idea. 3D print a prosthetic for a chicken.
Oh man, have you seen the arms, like the doll arms that they have for the chickens
Oh
now? It's like a wire across the back. They have them carrying like ARs and stuff. It is so
shit.
hilarious.
Oh shit, yes. That is so funny. You know, the funniest thing I've seen someone do to a chicken is put little chicken britches on it. Little pants. Gosh, damn. I don't know if any of y'all's ever seen that, but that just has me rolling, man. Oh man.
Some people have bougie chickens. Mine are worker
Oh yeah.
hens.
Yeah. I may get mine some pants. I have one, his name is Deputy Peck. He definitely deserves some pants. He is sassy. He's a pretty son of a gun though.
I'm gonna have to wind up putting some on Rowdy just to keep the other roosters from pecking out his tail feathers.
Oh man. I know one of the littlest rooster I got, his name's Banana, and man, he is just like a midget rooster compared to the other ones. Like the other two like grew up pretty big, and he just kind of stopped at some point, and I'm like, damn it, man, that sucks.
They're all bannies.
Yeah,
Huh.
well, that's word on the street anyway. But anywho, yeah, I guess relatively speaking, they're all the same size. But Miss Sharon, how are you doing, young lady? Live chat or all messages, y'all? What? What does that mean? Live chat, I guess. Oh, Miss Sharon, would you mind? Um, Perfect. Thank you so much, Miss Sharon. She is a good moderator too. You know, I need to make a lot more of you moderate, including you, Grace. I need to make a lot more of y'all moderator. If y'all are interested in that, let me know. I'm not gonna be able to do it tonight because I'm on what is it called? StreamYard. So I got to do it like in the YouTube stream, if that makes sense. I know it's crazy, but uh, I am gonna make a lot more of you moderators. Y'all got to remind me though. I'm horrible at remembering. Every time I get off of a live, I'm like, shit, I forgot to do that. So, anywho, okay. Next question, and this is something I'm about to start building, but coops. So, how big would you recommend like a coop to be, and how many chickens would you want to start with for getting started?
That has a few variables because I mean,
I
how much
know,
space do you have? What kind of neighborhood are you in? Are you out in the sticks like I am, or are you in an HOA? Because some of them are starting
right?
to allow chickens, just not
Yeah,
roosters.
I know that's a fully loaded question. But I mean, honestly though, that was honestly one of my questions though. I was like, man, how do you like? Do I start with two or whatever?
So what I did, because I had plans to, hatch more eggs and stuff, I started with 6.
Okay,
And
so that's what I
they
started with.
weren't steps either.
Okay, and how old were the 6 you started with?
They were chicks. They were like
Yeah.
day-old
Okay.
chicks from
Oh
the
wow.
feed store. So yeah.
Okay. Uh, Miss Sharon said chicken math is real, y'all.
Oh, it is for sure a real thing because I lost count of how many I have now, and I'm banned
Oh
from
man.
buying. I'm not even allowed to go in the feed store.
Oh no, you got.
I have been banished from the feed
Oh,
store.
oh, he put the leash on you, huh?
Yep. No
Oh goodness,
bunnies, no chicks.
that's funny. And I need to make Lawfully Armed a uh moderator. He's always good about promoting. Um, so yeah, let's see. I'm trying to think about the dimensions. I think my coop is like a 4 foot wide, maybe 8 foot long, and I would say mm, maybe a third of it. I got the little actual coop box part, house part for
Mhm.
the chickens. I got like 3 little spots for them to actually sit and stuff, which that really don't matter because I keep the what is it? Oh good gracious, cedar shavings in mine, and they'll like just pick a little spot in there. They don't even, not all of them use the little box. 2 of them are right now. So I don't guess it matters like if how
I
many little
mean, at
boxes
night
you
they
got
like
for
to, yeah, they like to roost at night and stuff. Just make
them.
sure they have nesting boxes, and that's about. I mean, honestly, chickens don't have a whole lot of requirements compared to a lot of other farm animals. That's
Yeah, it's
why
not been
chickens
that bad.
are the gateway to homesteading because they're kind of hands off.
Yeah. I will say we get in there and play with our chickens a lot, but the girls love, if you got kids, guys, I would say have some chickens. The kids love chicken. And I don't know. I honestly think it's like a stress release probably for kids.
Hmm.
So it's pretty
Well, I
cool
mean,
seeing
it's
the
teaching
kiddos.
them responsibility and a new skill set.
Yeah. And they bond with it. I swear, it's so funny. The little rooster I was talking about, Banana. I don't know if this is normal. I don't think it is because I've never seen it. But that little chicken will like lay on its back perfectly still and let my daughters rub his belly.
They've definitely made him a pet.
Like I've got this
I
on
can't do
video,
that to
y'all.
any of my roosters. I can pick
I've
them
got
up, but not that.
I've got this on video, and I mean it is funny as crap to see that. And they'll put the hens like back down, like holding them like a baby, and just like, I mean they'll stay out there with them for 20 minutes like that, just rocking them and rubbing their chest, and it's crazy. It's so funny. It's cute though. Anyway, Miss
It is
Sharon
cute.
said I started with 3 BB Reds, 2 hens, and a rooster. Then bought 3 Golden Comets and 3 Buff. Oh boy, that's a big one for an
Orpingtons.
Alabama fella. Yeah, something like that. Just
Yep.
6 weeks ago. Now the BB Reds have decided to have babies. So far, there's 6 since yesterday. Oh wow! Congratulations, Miss Sharon.
Awesome.
Chicken math.
Yes, it is for sure a real thing.
Demo man done. Once the chickens get named, you can never eat them. That depends on how
I
naughty
name
they
my
are.
cattle too. My dad's like, you don't ever name anything you're not intending to eat. Well, I name them all. They all got names.
Yeah,
They got ear tag numbers and they got names. I still
yeah,
eat
there
them.
you go. Like we're enjoying Samantha tonight. She was great. She was a wonderful addition to the family, and she has been a
Sophie made some
nourishment
awesome
to us all.
steak.
Oh man, yeah, my papa when we had cows, when he would butcher cows, they would sometimes have names, so it happens. But I feel you, Demo Man Don. It's not recommended to name what you're gonna eat, especially if you got kids. Especially if you got kids.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When there's kids involved, absolutely.
Yeah, don't do it, guys. Scoot said mine must think I'm a rooster. They follow me around the yard. That's funny.
They probably do see you as a big rooster, honestly.
They probably do. You're just a big cock. Sorry, Scoot. We're not going to talk about that. Y'all get your minds out of the gutter. Let's get back to chickens here. So, but that is true that like if you raise them from when they're young, they will. Well, I would say all the hens and Banana, the rooster, they'll follow us around. Whereas Deputy Peck and Milkshake, they're kind of like, eh. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't.
I
So,
think
all right.
it's just kind of like people. They each have their own personality.
I know it's
Even though,
funny.
even
They
though
do.
they're the same breed, they're going to have their own personality.
And one thing I think Grace would agree with, chickens are geniuses, right? They're very smart.
Oh, I tell you what, they outsmart me all the time.
That was a lot of sarcasm, y'all. Chickens,
Dumber
you
than a
have to.
bag of hammers.
Oh man, bless their little hearts. They are so sweet though. They make up for it in sweetness.
Right.
Justin B. I named the emu. Will not stop me from harvesting one next year. That's fun. Oh man, he said my kids don't see them much, so they will be none the wiser. Yeah, there you go.
Tell them
Justin
they
B
got
said
me home.
milkshake is a great name. Do what?
I said, just tell them they got rehomed.
I know. There you go. Just like look, I put them on marketplace and woof, they went off to a new home. Anyway, enjoy your chicken sandwich, kids. Let's get back to supper. This is Chick-fil-A, I swear. Oh goodness, that's horrible. Forgive me, Lord. Demo man done. When I have my chickens, I never had to clean up one pile of horse shit. The chickens took care of it all. Well, that's a nifty skill.
Yeah, they're really good at dispersing those kinds of things if they free range. We have a
Bless.
red-tailed hawk problem here, so I have to keep mine in a chicken run that has like bird netting over top, and yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this next one I'm gonna build. So like my coop now, it just sits on the ground and I kind of have to clean the ground sometimes. Or I try to kind of, help them out a little bit. But the next one I'm gonna build, I saw some ideas like on I don't know, people will put stuff on Facebook and stuff. And most of the ideas I don't like, but a few I've actually taken some net positives from. And I'm gonna do like a fine-ish wire on the bottom with a
Like a
tray up
hardware
under it.
closet.
Yeah, a way to catch some of the poop, and that way, like I
Mm-hmm.
was telling you, you can turn around and use it later on for your garden or whatever.
Yeah, just don't
So
use it right away because there's a lot of nitrogen in chicken manure and it needs to compost down. It needs to age because if you put that
okay,
straight on your plants, it will kill them.
okay. So put that in your notes, people, because I didn't know that before talking to Grace. Um, all right. Here's another one. What kind of chickens do you recommend starting with?
And again, that kind of depends on the climate. And if you're sending kids in to collect eggs, that kind of stuff, I mean, honestly, the Easter eggers, because I mean, they tolerate heat, they tolerate cold, and they're docile. Like they're like dogs. They follow you around. They're so curious, and I mean, they'll tolerate a lot. They're just God love them, but they're dumb. No
Yeah, and
self-preservation skills whatsoever. So you have to make sure that they're protected. But yeah,
that was something I didn't think about until talking to you. Uh, I honestly don't even really know. If I did know it, I'd forgot it already, or I might have read it and forgot it. But you mentioned climates. Different chickens for different climates. That's
right.
that's something I
So
never even thought about.
with the really harsh cold climates that have the really long winters, you want to try to get something with a pea comb versus like a full comb because they're more prone to frostbite.
Okay.
Like
So,
any of
all
the
right.
parts sticking out exposed to the elements is going to be more prone to frostbite.
Okay. So, just to make sure I'm right, this is probably a dumb question. The comb, we're talking about like the little comb
The little red
off the
thing on top
rooster.
of their head, the
Yeah,
wattles are the
yeah.
little things down here.
Okay. All right. So, there y'all go. Guys, there is no dumb question. Like literally,
No,
I'm
there's
still
not.
learning all
There's really
this.
not because I mean I didn't know any of this stuff. I learned as I
Yeah, I'm
went.
I know you've told me like sometimes when we talk back and forth, um, which we've talked through lives and off personally, and it's funny because you'll use some terminologies, and I'm like, "Whoa, Grace, what are you talking about? What is what
Hold
like
up.
what was it? What was it we was talking? Broody,
Yes.
broody. I didn't know what that meant. I had no idea
And
what that meant.
broody is contagious. That's why all three of your hens went broody at the same time. If you
Yeah,
see
that
one hen going broody, get her out of the coop and off by herself because the rest of the hens they'll start going broody and you're not getting any eggs. You're just
those
gonna have a whole
sons of
bunch of
guns.
chicks.
I know, and they did it while I was going on vacation, like while I wasn't here. The one time I was gone, like not monitoring them.
Right? Like,
Uh,
now's our chance.
I know. Ooh, the fat one's gone. We should do it now. That's thanks, gals. Appreciate it. Um, so,
Time to be a problem. Nobody's home.
uh, so how do you tell when they're broody?
So, like, their breast will get really warm. And the best way to break them is to cool them off. You can put an ice pack under them, take all the eggs out that they've been, collecting, take all the eggs out and put an ice pack under them. If you can cool
Okay,
that off, then, usually you can break it. Some of them, I mean, bantams, silkies, like the smaller chickens are the ones that are like really great breeds if you are wanting a good broody hen.
okay,
And they're a lot harder to break. I'll warn you.
okay.
They're very determined.
Hello, Sister Krista. How are you doing? And Dom VDG from Alaska. Holy shit, I bet it's cold up there.
Mm.
It's so funny every time he pops in the chat, and I'm gonna do it right now, Dom. What's the temperature? That's so funny because it's always
It's
like
probably
I'm
warmer
all.
than it is here.
It could be, but I'm always interested in like the temperature and weather up there. But anywho, Miss Sharon, I had this up on the chat. She said, "I'm trying to find a bigger coop. They're crazy prices." 100%, Miss Sharon. I've noticed that too, and I'm actually gonna build my own.
Right. I mean, you can build your own. What we did was we went to Lowe's and got one of those metal like barn shed type things where you put like your gardening tools and that kind of stuff in.
Okay.
And we put plywood floors in it, but we treated it with this. I can't even remember what the name of it is. It's like this. It kind of acts like tar, but it's not. And then
Yeah.
we put the bedding on that, so it just keeps
Okay.
it from keeps the plywood from breaking down, basically.
Oh, okay. I'm actually I've been looking at the different stuff that's on Facebook and whatnot, and I'm actually scheming up and rough drafting a plan to like just build my own. I'm gonna probably use like 2x4s and whatever
Right. Yeah.
I come up with.
Bruins, Facebook Marketplace or Pinterest. They're that's still a thing. I mean, people get on there and look and just kind of figure out what works best for you. Just one thing I will say is just don't be hard on yourself. Be flexible. I mean, you're learning as you go because
Yeah,
it's definitely not a one size fits all approach for any of this stuff. Everybody has different needs.
I agree. And I will say for everybody that might be interested, I have not. You may not be, but I'll probably do some content through my little journey when I do start building it and show you guys kind of how I'm doing it. You may want to do it like that, and you may be like, I'm absolutely not doing it like that dumbass did it. So who knows? We'll see. But anywho, I was gonna try to make some content on that just so you guys could see what I'm kind of gonna try at least.
Right.
Because I got 3 roosters. I would like to eventually have 3 little coops and each just have a rooster in each one and, have a bunch of hens in them.
Yeah, they need at least 5 or 6 to 8 hens per rooster to be happy roosters.
And Dom said it's 45 degrees right now.
Yeah, it's actually warmer there than it is here.
He's like, it's not cold. 45 is a good temp. I love that. You can throw a hoodie on. You can, enjoy a
Working the
long,
weather.
warm hug from your loved one. That's a good temp. Dom also said he's building a coop from pallets. That would be cool. That'd be cool. That's a good idea. Pallets are very cheap.
Sometimes they're free.
Yeah, really. Yeah, if you got a buddy that works at the right place, they can be absolutely free. Miss Sharon said, good idea. Just don't buy Paul Hut coop that you put together. They don't last long at all. That's what I've heard too, Miss Sharon, about like what is it, Tractor Supply coops? I don't know if that's from Tractor Supply.
Yeah,
but
those things aren't built to last for sure.
yeah, they
You're
look
always
cute.
better off to build your own.
Yeah, they look cute, but not built for durability. Let's see. I'm just trying to go through the chat here, making sure, because if somebody does have a question or something to add, I don't want to look over it. And I am from Alabama. I read very slow, just like I talk. Awfully arm. There's his stuff. Thank you, Miss Sharon. ACR, how are you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Okay, I think we're caught up. Oh, Dom said he will post pictures on Tactical Muffin Tops Discord.
Awesome.
So look out for that. I am not in that. I probably should be. Guys, I'm horrible about chats. You can ask my Signal brothers. I'm horrible. But I love y'all. No, just know I am going through there time to time. Howdy, Krista. Demo, Miss Sharon. And Miss Sharon shared Grit and Grace. Yeah, you guys sub up to Grit and Grace. We're trying to build her channel. She's going to be giving us high definition first person farming content. It's going to be crazy. Like no, but really, there is stuff coming. She's just she has a lot to do, a lot on her plate. So it's part
right
of it,
now,
guys.
I'm cows and chickens until I can get stuff in the ground. But I promise to make more content.
Yeah, it's coming. It's like me. And I talked to you about this the other day. I got a good friend just up the road from me. Him and his wife do canning. They got a high speed setup on canning. I promise I'm gonna get in there and we're gonna do a video. I don't know if it'll be a live or not. It'll probably just be a video. But I want to show people about canning, or what I can show them. I'm not going to be teaching anything. I'm just going to be there asking the questions, letting the people that actually do it answer the questions to show you how to do it. So that's just part of something I've wanted to do with my channel from the beginning. I mean, it's called Prepared Citizens. I kind of want to just, touch on a little bit of everything. So, yeah, that's that. Sister Krista had been working on that trailer all day. I'm ready for some coffee, Krista. You should.
Girl,
I'm gonna get
close.
I know when she gets her coffee stuff going. I'm gonna have a big banner. She'll be the main coffee sponsor, and we're gonna do all of our coffee and chaos is gonna be with her stuff, and that's totally not planned. That's hypothetical. That's up to you, Krista. I don't know. I just made that up. But if you do want to do it, hit me up. All right. I actually, this last question I got, we already talked about a little bit because I wrote this question down as we were going last night. And chickens, about like what chickens for different climates.
Mhm.
And I mean, do you want to touch that?
Oh, I mean,
Like
I
if
can only
you're,
speak to the kind that I've had in my climate because I've
yeah,
only owned like different varieties of Easter eggers, Wyandottes. They seem to do really well in cold temperatures. Um, and I mean, we've had so many that we've hatched eggs and stuff from. They're kind of little mixed breeds, so
I hear
they're
you.
definitely acclimated to our climate. But yeah, definitely that's one thing you want to do is do your research before you go. Because some
Yeah,
chickens do not do well in heat. Like if you're down south, they're tapping out.
I hear you. And that was something I honestly, all right. Before we go over to gardening, you have me super interested. I know we just talked a little bit about it, and you just mentioned it. Easter egger chickens.
Mhm.
What's up, Reba? Come on. Reba's up in here. Reba, come here. Come on. Y'all want to see how big Reba's getting? If she'll go, come on. She'll get up in my lap. This is Reba now.
Wow.
She's
What are
massive.
you feeding her?
I don't know. I think it's dog food, but it could be like some kind of Hulk stuff. I'm not sure. I'm starting to wonder. Hey, beautiful. That's my wife. You want to come in the camera? You want to come talk to her? No, she ain't gonna. She ain't gonna talk to me. Oh man. But so Easter eggers. You said those are hybrid chickens, right?
Yeah, they're a cross between an Araucana and an Americana, I believe. But
Okay.
and I mean there may
I,
be some cream egg bar thrown in there. It just depends on what color eggs they're throwing. They're kind of like
okay.
a mutt variety basically. But I mean they're really good, especially if you're sending your kids in. I've never had an issue with any of my egger roosters either.
Okay.
I mean they're
And
pretty good.
I want to make sure I didn't misunderstand you when we talked about this. Um, you do they? This is gonna sound so stupid. Do they lay the same color eggs each time? I know you said they can lay
Yeah.
different color eggs.
Yes.
Okay,
The same
so like
bird
each.
will they're genetically programmed like eye collar. They're gonna lay the same color egg every time.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I was telling my
Each
daughters
bird will
about
lay
you
a
having
different
like.
color egg, but that's how you wind up with like the rainbow. But yeah.
Okay. Skittles eggs, basically. That's awesome.
Hey, you don't have to dye them.
I don't taste the rain. So, but yeah, I was telling my daughters about that, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, the next coop you build, we got to get those kind of chickens." I'm like, I don't know. So, but yeah, I am. That's pretty cool. And you said those are big enough, like if you did want to, eat a chicken.
Yes. If you
Those are
if you had to turn them into a dual purpose bird, you could. They're
okay.
they're full size.
Okay. Yeah, and that's one thing for those of you that may not know, the chickens I have currently, they're called bannies. They're like little chickens. You would be hungry as hell after eating an entire rooster.
That's a snack.
You'd
That's
be
not a
very,
meal.
you would still be that I know that's that's an appetizer is what that would be. Oh goodness. Maybe that's where chicken nuggets come from. I don't know. Yeah, I know. So, is there anything? So that was all the questions I had on chickens. Is there anything
Okay.
you wanted to add, or maybe that I missed, or that anybody in the chat may want to add on chickens?
I mean, the only thing I want to reiterate is just, it's a lot of it's trial and error and just try to be fluid with what you're doing until you learn what works best for you. You might see a lot of stuff on YouTube, Facebook, all kinds of social media. Those can be used as parameters, but ultimately trial and error is going to be the best teacher.
Okay, and I guess something I would like to tell people. Um, you know, if you're nervous about getting started, you're probably building it up to more than it is. It's pretty hard to kill a chicken, like from
Yes,
neglect,
they're
I
most
guess.
likely to they're most likely to die from their own stupidity than from something you did.
Right. I would dare say, because honestly, that was one of my biggest like nervous things. I'm like, man, you know, we just got so much with work and kids, and you know, we already got dogs, and I'm like, man, I would feel so bad if I did something wrong and accidentally killed a chicken. And
No,
guys,
like honestly, like when you get them first and they're chicks, just put a little bit of apple cider vinegar in their water. Make sure they have electrolytes. Like make sure they don't have pasty butt, and I mean keep them warm. That's pretty much it.
yeah, I mean, guys, if I can do it, I promise you, you're golden.
Yeah, like I encourage
So
everybody to at least try if they can, if they're in a place
yeah,
where they.
and after this video, actually post where you can just watch it like non-live. If you guys got questions, uh, you can leave them there, or better yet, just go subscribe to Grit and Grace, and once she starts doing this stuff, you'll see it firsthand. So it's all good. Um, Miss Sharon said BB Reds are Bantams. They're tiny. Yes, my chickens are tiny, just like my 22 pistol. So yeah, Bantams are little chicks.
Yeah, they're some
What
of
is
the
this?
smallest, I believe.
Oh,
But I tell you what, them Banty Roosters, buddy, they've got a Chihuahua complex about them.
oh man, they are some. They're very high spirited. I'll say that.
Absolutely, that's putting it
They're
nicely.
they're big spirited. We'll say. DB Cooper, by the way, I don't know if I told you what's up, brother. How are you doing? He said predation is chicken's greatest enemy. Did I even say that right? I'm from Alabama, man. But what's up, DB? Demo man, is there such a thing as keeping your coop too clean? That's how we
I
were with
don't
ours.
obsess about it. I mean, yeah, you want to keep it clean, obvious reasons, because you don't want mites and all that stuff. But I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know there's such thing as too clean. I mean, you scrape the roosts, you scrape the poop off all that stuff, and just make sure you're
Yeah.
wearing a respirator because I can get pretty nasty.
Yeah. Even on small coops.
If you're going to be in there and like you're moving a lot of that bedding around, I would just, it's not worth it.
Okay.
Chickens create a
That's
lot of dust. That's something they don't tell you when you go to get these little babies from, say,
yeah.
Tractor Supply. They create a lot of dust.
Yeah. That's probably why I'm growing a third nipple, I guess. I was wondering where that's coming from. I've been breathing in something crazy. Just kidding, guys. I don't have. Somebody's gonna be like, "Holy shit, what?"
I'm not getting chickens now.
What the hell's wrong with prepared citizens?
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that when you was drinking. My bad.
Dog.
We we just have a good time here, y'all. Forgive me, Lord. Dom said, "What's pasty butt and how do you prevent it?"
Okay, so usually putting, I mean, just a splash of apple cider vinegar in their water, because if they can taste it, in my experience, they won't drink the water, because when they make it to the feed store, they don't do any of that stuff with the water. That'll usually help keep them regular enough. But if they're dehydrated and they're not drinking properly, it just kind of, the poop collects on their tail end and they can't get the rest of the poop out. So what I do is you put them, you don't want to submerge the chicken in water. So I usually just get a warm, wet paper towel and just kind of hold it on there until,
Okay.
because I mean, if you're rubbing and stuff, you're going to hurt them. They're really delicate at that age. But do that a couple of times a day until you just can get them cleaned off. I've
Okay.
only had to deal with it like a handful of times, but it does happen. and it can be
So
fatal if you let it go.
So that is something you need to check for.
Absolutely. And it's really easy to notice because they have all this poo collected on their butt.
Okay. And just just as a recap, real quick, DB Cooper, that earlier comment when I said predation is chicken's greatest enemy, he actually meant predators.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm so glad it wasn't the Alabama misunderstanding's fault that time. That was you, DB. But we got you, brother. Yes, predators. Do you have any trouble with dogs trying to get your chickens?
No, because between my red tick and my healer, dogs don't usually come up here. I'll put it that way.
I got you.
And I'm
I'm gonna
honestly
talk.
thinking about adding a livestock guardian dog at some point, but for right now, it's those two that are the ranch security.
I got you. I'm going to talk to you about a friend real quick that you probably know of. Actually, all of you should know of. Um, my buddy Red Dawn. Y'all know Red Dawn Readiness.
Mhm.
Me and him are buddies. We text and shiat. And he's got chickens, as probably most of you also know. So my dogs are pretty good with the chickens. They've never been like my chickens aren't free rangers. They're in the coop, and my dogs patrol around the coop, and they don't really care about the chickens. Now my little baney roosters, they'll like buck up to the dogs when they go running by. But as far as dogs go, I don't have any trouble with my dogs and my chickens. Now, Red, he was telling me he's got one of his Belgian Malinois that will like eat his chickens. What would y'all do
They
about
have
that?
a
I
high,
want to.
that breed has a really high prey drive. Just, I mean, what they're bred to do. I would suggest just
Yeah,
keeping them separate from the coop entirely, because
yeah.
sadly,
I
that's why
think
a lot of them wind up in shelters, because people are like, it ate all my chickens. I can't handle this. So it's like, well, that's just the nature of the beast. I mean,
right. Yeah, that's and I'd have to ask him. I'm pretty sure I'm right here because he sent me pictures or videos of me and him on FaceTime of his coop, and I think his is like an open top. You know what I mean? It's just like a fence basically around
okay.
it. And anyway, I was like, man, that would piss me off. Like if Reba did it, because she's half Belgian Malinois. But man, she gets her little nose popped for digging holes. I don't know what I'd do if she ate one of my chickens.
Right.
I don't know if I should whoop her ass or hand her barbecue sauce or what. Like, I don't know.
I mean,
But
that's always
anyway,
a possibility. I mean, it's food to them.
yeah, it's true. That's true. You got to I would say, and I don't know, and you guys in the chat can chime in on this too. Yes, Scoot says his dogs hang out with his chickens.
That's awesome.
Justin B said it's the breed. They have a high drive. And yeah, Miss Sharon also says it's usually the breed of the dog. Yeah, and you know, I got such a variety. You can tell I'm not racist by looking at my dogs. I got a Australian Shepherd, I got a Doodle, and then I got a German Shepherd Belgian Malinois mix. So all kind of breeds, but all of mine are pretty mellow when it comes to the chickens. Like they don't. Now, if a chicken got out, I don't know what they would do.
Right.
But
And that's
as
usually
far as
just it. As long as they stay in there where they're supposed to be, the dogs are like, well, I can't get to them anyway. So, meh.
right, and like, and you know, when we're going in and out of the coop, even like with the dogs, like right there at us, when they do, like, I guess for an instant, you know, they have a straight line to a chicken if they wanted it. When we're opening the door, going in and out, they don't act aggressive toward it. They just kind of stare at them, like
Because
just
the
watching
alpha's standing there. They don't want it smacked.
them. Maybe,
They know don't
but
act up in front of dad.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, when the cat's away, the mice will play. So, but anyway, yeah, I mean that's my experience so far with my dogs and chickens. So the chickens are in a coop, fully encaged, and the dogs, all of them, have been around them since the chickens arrived. So they're
That also helps.
they're pretty mellow around the chickens. Demo said I had an electric fence around my chicken pen to keep my hounds and possums out. Not a bad idea. Justin B, you got to show her while she's a puppy, not to fuck with the chickens. Got the best result. Yeah, that's pretty much what I've done. I mean, you guys have been around when Reba come around, like when she was a baby, and I would hold her on the first like Coffee and Chaos live streams. So yeah, she's been around them since she was a baby, and I mean, even like she has actually stuck her nose in the coop just to smell them, but she's never acted aggressive towards the chicken. So that was pretty cool.
I'm honestly surprised she didn't get pecked.
I am too. And it was Deputy Peck, the one she almost touched beak to nose with. That was funny. Because he's like all, being Mr. Badass. And then I think once he realized, oh shit, the wire's not between us, and then he kind of like run around the coop, and she just kind of like looked at him like, what the hell are you doing? But that was it though. Yeah, she didn't act aggressive or anything. Justin B, thanks for the super chat, man. I appreciate that. I didn't even know that we could do that through the what's it called? StreamYard. Sorry, StreamYard. I'm sorry. Prepared, you're getting a radio in the mail tomorrow. It's for TMT. He will pay you and send his info. Everything else in the bag is for you. Don't remember what's in, but also forgot. I don't know what that word is, Justin B. I'm going to say a thank you note. Okay. Well, I appreciate that, man. TMT did sort of brace me for that, and I appreciate that, brother. And Justin B, how is your radios doing, by the way? I did some radios for Justin B a while back, and I'm going to tell you right now, if a UV5R can withstand and survive Justin B, that's a fucking awesome radio, because those radios looked rough. And you know what I'm talking about, Justin B. But we got them all programmed. They're good to go. But that's good though to see people actually using their equipment.
Right.
It's actually good. That's good. Scoot, I want to left the dogs in earlier, and there were 2 hens lined up in between the dogs ready to come in. That's funny. That's funny. That's pretty funny. All right, Grace, are you ready? Is there anything else we want to? Oh, Grace, we're hitting 57 minutes. I had no idea we would. I guess it's because I talk slow, but
You're good.
are you good on time? Are you?
Oh yeah. No, I'm good.
Okay, because I don't want to hold you up.
Nope.
I know
we're good.
I had told you around an hour, but I suck at time. So
It happens.
So are you
We're
cool
good.
to move on to gardening?
Yep.
Okay. All right, guys, here we go. Shot of whiskey, and we're gonna move on to garden. All right. This is gonna be good. This is where I have just honestly failed at. This is what I really need to learn, and I'm gonna put a lot of effort in. And I need to do, man, I've just got so much going on. But I need to like get this done yesterday. I had a big tree. I don't think I've told everybody on the YouTube yet. I had a big tree fall in my yard from a storm the other night. I got to finish cutting that up before I start my garden, because I was planning on starting the garden Saturday, and then I went out Friday morning. A big tree, one of my Bradford pears, have gotten struck by lightning and fell. So now I got to be cutting that up, and then a lot of stuff, like I said, going on with my dad, battling cancer. Please pray for him. A lot of stuff going on. So hopefully this week I'll get the tree cut up. Maybe we'll get a garden this year. We may not. I don't know. But anywho, sorry for all of that. Gardening. Here's my first question. What plants do you recommend, or vegetables do you recommend starting with? Like, what's good entry level? Like, this is kind of what you want to test your skills with stuff.
So to that, I would say things that have a relatively short, like, turnaround time, like your beets, your radishes, your lettuce. Usually, depending upon the variety, within a month, you have something that's like ready to go. Now, I will tell you with like your leafy greens, if you have a week that is in the 70s or above, like solid, it'll just bolt. They like cooler weather. And I mean, honestly, a lot of those do, like the beets and the radishes and that kind of thing. But I mean, starting
Okay.
out, it's like they sprout sooner. It's like you can see results sooner. It gives you a little bit of hope that maybe you don't have a gray thumb,
Yeah.
and basically just put seeds in the ground and watch it grow.
Okay. And guys and Grace, be ready, because this is going to be stuff I may ask terminology questions on and things like that, because honestly, I'm still learning. I'm still learning a lot of
Hey,
this.
that's all right.
Um would like in my mind, what I'd like to start planting, or what I'm just thinking like what I wish I had out of a garden. Um
Okay.
Tomatoes, cucumbers come to mind pretty quick. Are
Okay. So
those
your cucumbers, do you want like pickling cucumbers or like slicing cucumbers for like salads and stuff?
mm, and that's probably a whole nother animal. I've never done pickling. That's
Okay.
something I'm planning on learning from my buddy that does like canning and that kind of stuff, because they do that stuff too. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, how I don't know. I guess maybe starting out I would just do some regular ones for like salads and stuff, something like that.
Um, yeah, I mean, those are things, and especially down where you are, those things like the peppers, the tomatoes, that kind of stuff, they love the heat. And you have a really long growing season. We have about 3.5, 4 months here before the weather starts getting crappy because our last frost dates, like, I don't put anything in the ground before Memorial Day weekend. It's just, I mean, we got
Well,
snow here twice this week. So, I
okay.
mean, it,
Yeah,
it
and you don't
definitely
have
depends on what you're eating, what zone you're in. Are you putting this up for later? Are you fresh eating? Like, there's a lot of variables there.
Yeah, I know, guys. Yeah, keep in mind my questions are questions that I had or have and had starting out with this stuff. It's also all these almost are fully loaded questions. Grace quickly let me know that as I was asking them. So
It varies by
and
person, but I'll
yeah,
try to give you the best answer I possibly can.
and and I hate to say this, but that's honestly probably why I've been so delayed on starting chickens and starting a garden, because you know before I really started building a channel and meeting all you guys, um I would just try to use the Google machine, and holy shit, it's like one question leads to another, and by the 15th Google that night I'm just like, fuck it, I don't I don't even know.
That is like Googling medical symptoms. Just put down the mouse.
Never Never Google medical symptoms. If you do, you'll die. Period. Period.
Don't do
Don't Google you're cold. You're not gonna make it, okay?
that.
All right. And Scoot said he said he can't type tonight. He's been shooting all afternoon at the range. We need to know what you were shooting. Thank you, Scoot. And
And
Bobby
kudos
Bama
for
said he
practicing.
uses I hear you. Bobby Bama, he's just practicing protecting his chickens. Bobby Bama said he used his tactical repeater last weekend. It worked awesome. That's awesome, dude. I appreciate that. Yeah, Bobby Bama is a good buddy of mine, and has one of my tactical repeaters I build and sell. Miss Sharon said, praying for your dad, Jay. I really appreciate that, Miss Sharon. That means a lot. I promise you. Justin B., you too, brother. Thank you so much. Miss Sharon, squash, okra, and beans.
Yeah, okra is something that doesn't really grow well up here that a lot of Southerners can grow. It doesn't do well up here, so I don't even try.
I got you. And
I
I'm
love pickled okra, but it doesn't do well up here.
yeah. And not to dox yourself, but Grace is just up north, okay? And I am down south on the east side. So let's see. Justin B. It says his lettuce and spinach rotation is pushing something fierce indoors.
Awesome.
That's good. It's badass. Pilgrim, what's up, man? How are you doing? Good to see you, brother. Hope you got some good, hot, and strong coffee, just like we like our women, or some good whiskey. We're taking care of tonight. Whiskey disposal crew. Get big fat cucumbers. Justin B, that is definitely what all single moms recommend is big fat cucumbers. I'm just kidding. Gosh damn it, forgive me.
Forgive me, Lord.
So sorry about that. That just I forgot we was on YouTube for a second. Get your minds out of
Don't
the
be
gutters,
giving people ideas or something.
Cucumbers are great for salads. You can just have a big cucumber. You can fix more salads. Good for the soul. Growing zones are important and helpful. Tin Man Metal, you are absolutely right. And that is my next question on my list here. So, and we talked about this a little bit as well. When do I plant? So where can I go to find that kind of information, Grace?
Usually what I do every year is just farmersalmanac.com. You can type in your zip code and basically it puts you in your zone and it tells you when your first frost date, your last frost date, that kind of stuff. If you plant by the moon phases, all of that stuff's already like there. It depends on what you want to do. Like I said, I mean, we've had snow on Mother's Day here before. We've had snow on 4th of July. This climate is its own completely. It's insane. And no, I'm not in Alaska. I'm not that far north. Just in the mountains.
This is how basic bitch I am, guys, when it comes to gardening. Honestly, I think it was one of my live streams. It had to be an evening live stream because I think you were in it too. And guys, I didn't even know about like growing zones. Like I did, and I think Miss Sharon was the one that jumped on me first. She was like, "You should be putting stuff in the ground right now," or as we call it on Super Troopers, right meow.
Yeah, y'all have a nice long growing season, but the problem is it gets so hot down there so fast. If you don't get your early season stuff put out, like probably like February, March, by the time like April, May rolls around, it's already too hot to plant like your brassicas and your lettuce and your spinach and that kind of stuff, unless you're just gonna like succession plant it. It's gonna just keep trying to bolt and go to seed. And if you've ever had, I attempted it one time. It was my first year, and I learned because it was god awful. I don't recommend eating lettuce that has already bolted. It tastes terrible.
Oh man. Yeah, Scoot. Fried okra is definitely a big, big Southern thing. And
Never had
Sean, thank you so much for the prayers, brother. I really appreciate it. Sean was actually the giveaway winner.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's the one that won the giveaway. Let's see. I hope I'm not missing anybody's comment. I promise I'm trying to go through these between being a slow southerner and slow reader and a hillbilly. I'm trying not to. Yeah, Justin B. He said Google your growing zone. Pilgrim Grow Zone 6 Bravo here in Plymouth. Is MA Massachusetts?
Yes.
I think. I can't remember.
Yeah, it is.
Sister Krista, we're in zone
They
7 out of
they
Washington.
moved the growing zones around a couple years ago because I used to be 5 and now I'm 6.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I remember you talking about that a little bit, how it's moved around.
I think it was
Because-
like 2 years ago.
Okay, yeah, because, you guys, global warming
Oh
real.
yeah, that's a real
It's
thing.
real. It's real, guys. You got to be aware of it. You got to know about it. Okay.
And just like that, demonetized.
Yeah. Yeah. The best thing you can do for global warming is firearms and medical training. That's going to cure the environment.
Wholeheartedly agree.
Did I say that out loud? I'm doing a refill on coffee here, or tactical reload on my coffee. Got a good old fashioned thermos. Sister Krista says we're in zone 7 on this side of Washington, desert rat. Now, you talking about Washington State, Sister Krista, which is what I'm assuming. I got one of my best friends from my old unit is up in Washington State. He's a awesome dude. I'll just say that. He came to visit me last year, early last year, I think. Stayed with me for a couple of days. Pretty cool to get to see folks from that life, my brothers. And I totally didn't mean to get off subject there. I totally just went way off gardening and chickens. I'm so sorry.
You're good.
DB Cooper, don't ever believe the extended forecast for frost. I don't believe any forecast at this point, DB. They're all damn liars.
I
Can't
put
even
my stuff
tell-
in 2 weeks after.
Can't even tell how many years I've froze my started onions. Oh, that
Oh.
stinks. Oh, cool. This is cool. Miss Sharon shared the Almanac Grow Zone by zip code. So if anybody's looking for it, click that link. Very cool. Thank you, Miss Sharon. Sister Krista, I just heard that when you start getting dandelions popping up in your yard, the ground is good for planting. That's a pretty good tip there.
We've had, I'm sure in most places that is a good sign to plant by. Not here. I don't know why.
Yeah. Justin B, picking okra is the best. Bobby Bama says he loves fried okra. Yeah, man, we're from the South. We love fried okra. Let's see. Trying to. DB said I usually plant my garden about a week after Memorial Day, but I'm in knee deep. In deep. Damn it, y'all.
Okay, so yeah, you're like zone 5. Are you 5A or 5B?
So ND, that's North Dakota, and I
Mhm.
have no idea.
Yeah, you got a really short growing zone. It does help if you have like a heated greenhouse or even just getting them started and maybe up potted while they're still inside before you start hardening them all. That kind of
Okay.
helps level the playing field instead of just planting like, oh, we're gonna wait and then we're just gonna plant a small seedling out. Like that'll
Yeah.
give you time to pot it as long as you have room to do all that. Because I can tell you when you're going from like the seed starting trays to like a 3-inch pot, that's way more dirt and way more space. And you got to make sure you have good lighting because if you don't have lighting that's adequate, your seedlings will get leggy. Now, your tomatoes will be way more forgiving than say your peppers if they get leggy, because tomatoes, if you look at the stem, they look like little hairs. Those will actually be roots. If you put that underground, that'll be roots. And when I plant mine, I usually pop off the bottom leaves and plant it like really deep because it's so windy up here where I am. You can't afford to have spindly seedlings. They'll snap them, and if you snap the top off of them, it signals to the plant that you're done. So you're not going to get anything off of it anyway.
So you want to make sure you
Plant them really deep.
Yes.
That's what she said. I'm just kidding, guys. You know,
As long as it's tomatoes,
that-
peppers don't want to be planted deep.
yeah, that's actually I'm just being funny, guys, but that's actually a question that I had here, and I probably should have put this a little bit higher up on the list. How deep and how far apart do you plant stuff? And I guess from talking to you, well, I'm gonna let you just go into that because that's also a loaded question. Sorry, guys.
And again, that's another one that depends on what you're growing. And I mean, are you talking like putting like the seed in the ground or a seed in a tray or like a actual like a growing like seedling?
Okay, so when like in my case right now, like let's say, I'm down here in Alabama. You're coaching me right now to start my garden.
Mm-hmm.
Do I need to get some like seed start things to get the stuff started, or can I go out here, till up the ground, and actually just go straight to ground with it? Like how would you? And let's
Are
let me
you wanting to start
let's
from seed, or are you talking like going to the greenhouse and picking up like actual live plants?
okay, and see that's something I ain't never thought about. So like I don't I guess seed. Let's just go from seed, and let's say I'm planting. Well, the example or what I said earlier, like tomatoes and cucumbers, for instance.
Okay.
That's something you would likely put together, or at least I guess on a different row.
Right. So I mean, honestly, you have a long enough growing season, but the problem is it gets so hot so fast down there. Cucumbers are kind of on like really intense heat. It just kind of depends on the variety. But I will say most of the mom and pop greenhouses you're going to have around you are going to be planting the varieties that grow best in your area.
Okay.
You're getting kind of a late start for where you are. So instead of fooling with seed, for especially because sometimes tomatoes and that kind of stuff, they have the indeterminates, they have a while before they really start setting fruit and that kind of stuff. You might be further ahead to just go to the greenhouse and get what varieties you're planning on growing. That'll save you a lot of time. I'm not saying go buy one of them $40 pots that has one tomato plant in it, because some places are really good for ripping you off for that kind of stuff. Just get you a little 4 or 6 cell and just put it in the ground. Make sure you fertilize it, water it in good. Make sure there's no air pockets down in the underneath the hole you dug.
Okay.
Just make sure there's no leaves touching the ground, because that's usually how you wind up with foliar disease like blight and that kind of thing. And blossom end rot is a real thing. So
oh shit.
nice
You said
even
leaves on the
watering.
ground?
Yeah, if like say it rains and the water splashes dirt up on those tomato leaves, that's why they tell you to keep your tomatoes trimmed and like the leaves off the ground. Keep your tomatoes tied up. Make sure they have ventilation. Because I'm sure the humidity down there is a real thing.
Okay. Well, dang. Yeah, I didn't know that. Scoot had a question here. He said, "Will potatoes do okay in 5-gallon buckets? And is it too late to start them in Bama?"
I wouldn't say so. I will say this. I've tried to grow potatoes several different ways, and I didn't have it. I had some luck with the 5-gallon bucket. You just don't get really big potatoes and you don't get a lot of potatoes. What worked best for me is my second year, I planted, I think they're Kentaden potatoes, or like a white potato. And my 3-foot deep raised beds, I planted those in. I get potatoes every single year because somehow I managed to miss those like little baby seed potatoes. And those are like the super producers. They overwinter in those beds beautifully and they come back every year. So it's like, it's almost like it's free. I mean, they just keep coming back.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. You know, that was something me and my sister talked about years ago. I don't want to get too because we're on YouTube. Got to play by the rules. COVID, Coop is what made me start wanting to do more prepping and getting a little more prepared because during that time things became scarce and whatnot. And my sister told me that like seeds and things you buy from say Walmart.
Mhm.
I'm trying to remember. So like she was talking about how this stuff's been manipulated, like the chromosomes where they don't fertilize and continue on. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? Like they will
I mean,
just kind of die out once they've, I guess, had their.
and it also depends on where you get seed from. I mean, honestly, if you can seed swap with somebody that's in your climate, in your zone, that is key. It's like, because when you go to the big box stores and you buy, say, your fruit trees or your grapes, whatever,
Yeah.
a lot of that stuff is grown down south. Well, then they ship it north, and these things just like it stunts them. They don't know what to do because I mean, you skip like 4 zones, and they're not meant. Certain varieties are meant to be cold tolerant, and I mean, even like blueberries and that kind of stuff, they need a certain amount of like what they call chill hours in order to
Yeah.
produce fruit the next year. So
Okay.
I mean, it's just watch your varieties, do your research, and I mean, grow what you eat, what you know you're going to eat.
Okay. That's good advice. I like it.
And
Um.
if you have problems, like if you can't afford seeds, a lot of times you can organize a seed swap in your area. There's seed banks in your local library 9 times out of 10. You just got to ask. And if they don't have one, go talk to somebody. See if you can start one up.
Yeah,
Because
that'd be a cool
again,
idea.
that'll all be stuff that's been grown in your area, seed saved from, the best stuff.
Okay. Um. Let's see. I'm gonna go through a couple of comments real quick. Miss Sharon said, "I would plant in the ground in your climate. It's already getting warm." She's talking about down here in Bama. So, and I agree with that. It is starting like we're still having some nights in the mid 30s. I'm not checked
Okay.
what tonight's forecast is, but it is starting to. I don't think we're gonna hit freezing again, so I'm hoping that's behind us. Justin B said he uses a half 55-gallon drum and they do good. That's something I'm gonna get to that question. I didn't have that written down, but I'm gonna go through some comments, and I'm about to ask you about above ground or like in ground raised. What do they call that? Raised bed gardens?
Yeah.
Isn't that what they call it?
Mm-hmm.
DB Cooper said plants started from seed are healthier plants. Justin. Now, DB, I promise you, I'm not being a smartass when I'm about to say this. I'm not. I'm being like legit. So like when you, let's say, start something from seed, and you buy, like at Lowe's or somewhere, you can get the plant that's already started. I guess. Does that make sense? To put it in the ground. I
Right.
mean, they're all technically started from seed, right?
Right. And
Okay.
one thing I will say, your mom and pop greenhouses are going to be way cheaper than the big box stores. Those things are a
Yeah.
ripoff. I
Okay,
won't
and
go
probably
into depth
better.
as far as like the varieties, like the name brands and stuff, but they're don't do it.
Okay. That's probably what DB meant.
Support your
Then.
local farmers.
Yeah, that's probably what DB meant. Was I'm betting you that's what he was getting at by that. DB, that is Miss Sharon said, DB, that is true. I am not paying $5 per plant.
Right.
Oh,
It's
okay. I
getting
guess
out of hand.
yeah, I guess he's talking about actually buying the seeds and just starting them from there too. And I guess that
And
makes
if you
sense
have
too.
time, that's recommended. But I mean, if you're kind of racing against the clock, it's better to, you're going to spend a little bit more this year, but lesson learned.
Yeah.
You'll be ready for next year. Give yourself some grace, learn from, that season of your life and move forward.
And I guess that's going to lead me into another question. For me this year, for like down here in Bama, and you guys like Scoot, and you guys that's doing gardens, you can comment too and let me know. Am I at the point since since my lazy ass hasn't started the garden in ground yet? Do I need to go ahead and get like the plants that are already going for me, or could I still start at seed if I wanted to? Do you think?
Well, what zone are you in and what are you wanting to plant?
Shit, monkey, damn. I'd have to look that up. You know what? Let me
Okay.
look that up.
Okay.
I'm gonna go do this. I can't see you right now because I'm on a different. Uh, you guys are wondering what the typing sounds are. I'm doing witch magic stuff. Holy shit, this is very complicated looking. All right.
I told you not to Google it.
Let me. I know. Here we go. All right.
You
I
broke
am
rule number
zone.
one.
Okay, here we go. I'm in zone 8A.
Okay, yeah. You're a little behind the 8 ball, but I mean, your growing season's long enough. You're probably not going to get much in the way. If you start from seed, like tomatoes and that kind of stuff, you're probably not going to get much like fruit until maybe August, July, August,
Okay.
somewhere in that vicinity, depending on
So that,
what tomato variety and all that. But I mean, it's still doable. It's just going to be delayed, and your harvest is not going to be big as it would be if you went and got the
what she
started
said.
plant, like in a 3-inch pot.
So, all right. So, like, if you were me though, so right now, what would you do? Would you do the seed, or would you just go get the plants, suck it
Knowing
up
the
this
season of
year?
life that we're going through right now, don't make it any harder on yourself than it has to be. Just go find a mom and pop greenhouse and just patronize them this year. Just do yourself a favor. Like,
Okay,
honestly,
I may do that.
most of the seedlings are only going to be like maybe $3.75 to $4 for like a 4 to 6 pack. And I mean, are you planning on just fresh eating garden, or are you wanting like yields that you can and put up for like winter?
It's going to be fresh eating for me this
Okay,
year because
so then,
I'm just trying
yeah,
to learn.
okay, yeah. So this is your learning curve year. I would just go with your starts. So just go to your greenhouse and talk to the person, tell them what you're wanting to do, and I guarantee you they'll hook you up.
Okay. DB Cooper said, always grow Yukon Gold potatoes.
Oh, those are
They're my
awesome.
favorite.
Yep.
As
And they can
man,
beautifully because they're not real starchy, so they don't get all like mushy when you pressure can them. Oh, they're yes. Chef's kiss. Love the Yukon Golds.
Grace, you crack me up so much because you're like, I'm not an expert in any of this, but you're like getting down to the science on a lot of this shit. You're being graceful. You're being very humble when you say, "Oh, I'm not an expert." You know a lot about this shit.
I'm really not, and I mean I am like the poster child of what not to do most
You,
days. I learned the
you
hard way. That's how I learned.
between you and like I was telling you about the dude, the chicken dude that my wife works with.
Hmm.
Y'all have taught us a lot. Like you don't give yourself enough credit. So,
Thank you.
let's see. Miss Sharon says you'll get better seeds and many more for the money at the feed and seed store. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna ask my gal, uh, chick, lifelong friend that I graduated with, where I get my feed and stuff from. If she don't have that kind of stuff, I know she'll know where to get it. So that'd be good. So Tin Man Metal said heirloom seeds versus the GMO junk. Is he
Okay,
talking about
so
like the box store stuff?
right, well, technically, it's probably gonna hurt some feelings, but GMO seeds don't get
Hurt
sold to
'em.
the public. By law,
Okay.
they cannot, you have to sign a contract. Like the farmers have to sign a contract that, these are GMO seeds. These seed companies will put non-GMO seeds on the seed packet, and it's a total gimmick. You're
Wow.
not allowed to have GMO seed unless you're signing contracts with Big Ag. So,
And you
but not all
guys,
heirlooms. They may be hybrids, but hybrid and
yeah,
GMO are two different things.
yeah, and you guys continue to watch CNN and all that stuff for the news. All that stuff tells us
I
the
don't
truth.
even watch the news.
The government's out here to help us.
Yeah.
Such bullshit, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
I know. Y'all see Grace. She had to take a shot of whiskey on that one.
Yeah, I'm
She's
gonna
like,
sit on my hands and I'm gonna
I
keep
know,
my
me
opinions
too.
to myself because it's not my channel.
That's right. We love you, YouTube. We appreciate you letting us live stream tonight. That's so sweet of you. Thank you.
Licking the boot.
That's right. And by the way, on that note, you guys come take an in-person training class because we talk about all kinds of stuff. It's really fun and building actual in-person community. It's awesome. But anyway, regardless, I appreciate every one of you here hanging out with us tonight. It's
Yeah,
really
thank you.
cool.
Y'all are
Y'all are here.
awesome.
Yeah, and guys, as y'all can tell, I hope you guys are learning along with me because I'm actually learning a lot and I'm taking notes on a lot of this stuff. So, and Grace, we appreciate your time too. That's really
Anytime.
awesome.
Anybody has any questions, shoot me an email.
Yes, I'm going slow through the chat, trying to get to all the stuff. Oh, and what's your email? Go ahead and or the one you want to share, like for people to shoot you an email at. I don't.
You can find it on my page. I can't remember. I have like 4 different emails,
Okay.
and it's
Well, you guys go
it's all some
subscribe.
variation
That's
of the
all
same
good. You
one.
guys go
So.
subscribe, and her email is on the description part of the page.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. That's how I got mine too. If you guys need anything from me, do not hit me up for chickens and gardening. That is Grit and Grace. I'm
Or
gonna just
cows.
refer. I'm just gonna refer you to her if you ask me any chicken or gardening question. And I'm probably gonna slightly scold you for not listening to tonight's chat.
It's all right. They can always run it back too.
I'll just forward it to you. Justin B said buy local and you'll do great. It's a bit more pricey. Honestly, well, you Justin B are a good example. Same way with like, the medical and comm stuff. I before I started a business, I bought from a lot of bigger companies and things like that, but I couldn't. You would get a response if you sent a legit question about stuff, but you guys can buy from me on the medical and comm end and ask me in-depth questions, and a lot of you already know this, but I'll help you guys the best I can and point you in the right direction. Excuse me, I was burping. So same thing with the seeds and chickens and all that stuff, guys. Find somebody local to you, and like Grace was saying, usually the plants and stuff like that, I guess climate stuff like you was talking about earlier, if you buy just your local stuff, is going to be a better suit for you anyway. So
Absolutely.
Tin Man, check in with your local produce stand is a good place to start asking about seeds too. Yep, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Miss Sharon shared Tin Man's channel. That is a good channel. I like Tin Man's channel.
Awesome.
Check him out. Robert Ham. Did I say? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. I can't remember if I told you hey or not. I saw you in here just a second ago. And I am so good Lord, I'm behind on the chat. Holy hell, I am so slow. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, y'all. All right, Chuck is in here from Homestead Medical. What's up, brother? How are you doing? Let's see. Robert Ham, the wife, and I still have seeds from when we moved down here to Kentucky 4 years ago. That's pretty cool. So, Grace, real quick. Seeds, like if you don't put them in the ground, how long are they good for? If you don't plant them?
As long as you keep them in a cool, dark, and dry place, most seeds, I mean, you lose a certain percentage of germination. Your germination rate goes down each year by, I mean, it's minimal, but it does go down. I have found that like capsicums, like your peppers and that kind of stuff, they seem to not want to germinate real well after about the 2 to 3 year mark. But I mean, that's just the ones that I've had. That's my experience. Like the tomato seeds that I've saved have done great. Cucumbers, all of that. Like I try to do what I can as far as like saving seed. Like last year was a rough year. We had horrendous drought. I think the entire summer we got about 5 inches of rain. So at that point it was like keep what we could alive and decide that, go through and basically be only the strong survive and nix what we knew we couldn't, that wasn't going to yield well.
Man, that's crazy. That stinks.
Yeah, it was bad.
Let's see, what was I about to ask? I had it right on the tip of my tongue. No dirty jokes, guys. Get your mind out of the gutter. Dadgummit. I think it was about seeds. So you don't have to do anything. All right. I know what I was about to ask. What'd you say? Germination? Germination? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Or what does that mean?
Basically just like going from seed to like sprout. Like when you put the seed in the dirt and you cover it and you water it, when it sprouts, that's like technically germination. When it's no longer encased in that seed, you're starting to see something green pop up, it germinated. It's gonna become a plant.
Okay. So, and that again, guys, is part of me learning. It may be a dumb question, but honestly, I didn't know what that meant.
And if
Fiend
you're
dog.
starting like your peppers and stuff, your peppers and your tomatoes from seed, you want to put them on a seedling heat mat. Do not put them on a heating pad. That's totally different. It'll get too hot and it'll dry your soil out and it won't do well. But a seedling heat mat is just enough warmth to like coax them to pop out of their shell.
Okay. That's something I really want to do is grow some like good jalapeno peppers. And people has told me that like peppers and stuff in general are pretty easy to grow. Is that true?
Yeah, I mean honestly they don't have the blossom end rot issues that tomatoes can have. I mean, they can, but I have never had that issue like I have with tomato plants.
Okay. Yeah, I guess what I've been told is like they're more forgiving than others.
Yeah, some stuff it's like, man, you mess up and it's like game over. You might as well just pluck the plant out of the ground. But other things are like, yeah, they might struggle for a little bit. You kind of stunted them, but they'll catch back up.
And Scoot told you earlier that thanks, Grace, you're awesome.
Oh, thank you.
I agree. Good job, Scoot. Robert Ham, the only news I watch is for traffic reports going to and from Nashville. And
That's about all it's good for.
That's that. Amen. Amen. I'm trying to skip
even the weather's not accurate.
Yeah, I know.
Go outside and look up.
They're like, yeah, it's gonna be beautiful today, and you walk outside and it's fucking hailing or something, getting pounded in the face. Like,
Torrential
what the
downpour.
hell? Oh man, Miss Sharon, thank you for sharing the website. Let's see. Justin B, when is the July and August train schedule gonna drop? I need to request off in advance. Hey man, I will get that out this coming week. Cause I always like my schedule, the way I set that stuff. My wife is a RN and she her schedule can jump around a little bit, so I schedule it kind of around her schedule. So it's about that time. I should be able to do it this coming week. So I'll get you hooked up, brother. Let me know if you're interested in pistol or rifle or medical. I'll schedule one specifically. I've not done a medical yet this year. I've got because I'm actually working on some stuff. I'm wanting to do a little bit. Like normally, I just do regular stop the bleed classes. I'm wanting to do a pretty in-depth full TCCC medical class, like high speed stuff. But yeah, just let me know, man, and I'll get that rolling. Robert Ham, don't sweat it, brother. I came in late. I'm not gonna sweat it just because you told me not to. I'm gonna trust you, Robert. Miss Sharon, last year we had 42 days in a row with no rain. Holy Shiite Muslim. That's a lot.
Yeah, it was bad everywhere. I don't think there was any part of the United States that got off unscathed with that drought. It was, I mean,
Yeah.
it was horrendous. And I'm hoping that this year's better. But I mean,
Yeah, I
we've
hope
still
so.
got our water catchment lined up. And I mean, that's going to be, it'll definitely help the well out because we're not on city water here. So
DB said he always puts a few turns in with his started tomatoes. He said they like them a lot. Now, excuse me, Grace, when he says puts a few turns in with started tomatoes, is that referring to like the started plants already? Like the ones you buy, it's kind of already started?
honestly, like everybody calls them something different. And
Oh,
the
okay.
amendments they put in the soil, Tums, yes, that'll stop blossom and good grief, words are hard. Blossom and rot.
Oh
um,
my goodness.
yeah, like ground up Tums. It sounds so dumb. It really does, but it works.
And look at oh, lawfully armed trying to be clever here. Grace, do you have a tourniquet on you?
I do not. It's coming in the mail
Okay,
Monday,
all right.
lawfully. I'm behind the curve. My FFAC will be here
We're
Monday.
we're not gonna do that to Grace tonight. Lawfully armed. I like where your
Dang
head's
it,
at though.
lawfully.
I know he did it. He did it. I do have a Slishman on hand.
I'm in the
Well,
gun stop.
and I got a SWAT T right here. But I will say, guys, on that note, Slishmans, no, it's not. Its primary design is not to be a tourniquet. It will work as a tourniquet, though. It will work. So, but yeah,
So now
yeah,
I
Grace,
have a question for you, sir.
I know
The
you got a
Slishman.
FFAC on the way. You got a FFAC on the way with a Slishman. That's gonna be sweet. Hey,
So,
you could do us a video on it
oh, I will.
or an unboxing or something like that if you want.
Unboxing,
If you
yeah.
don't want to, it's all good.
No, I will. I'll probably wind up doing it out here where it's quiet, but so the
Just
Slishman,
indeed.
is
Okay.
that better suited for like children versus like the tourniquet like that's in the kit, or
So the tourniquet that's in the kit, the ETQ wide, where my desk is crazy. Is my ETQ wide up here? I thought I had my training one or one of my training ones. There's one I usually kind of leave up here for videos. Oh, here, no, there it is. There it is. Whoop, I found it. Okay. the ETQ wide will work for children. It will work
Okay.
for. It's probably going to be a little more painful than a Slishman. Now, a
Okay.
Slishman will let me clear something real quick. Tourniquets ain't comfortable. They all hurt. When you're applying that much pressure to stop bleeding, that's gonna hurt. Period.
Right.
But when we're talking about the most comfort level we can achieve with doing that process, a Slishman is going to be your best bet, especially for children. And I'm talking about infants, like babies. Like if it,
Yeah.
God forbid, you
Oh,
had to do that. But the Slishman will work, and it is very good for dogs. Lots of canine units are discovering and starting to pick those up too. So it's really good for that as well.
good to know.
But nonetheless, the ETQ wide will do all those things. My favorite thing about the ETQ wide is how lightweight it is and how compact it is, but yet it still works just as good as our cat tourniquets, which is kind of the gold standard for tourniquets. This is what I used in the military, a cat tourniquet. And you know, and I
So are
still
just the
need to
training
do.
tourniquets blue?
Yeah, just to train it. These are the blue ones are the ones I use in classes. That's the
Okay.
ones I use in classes. And I don't sell these, the cat turn. The only ones I sell are the ETQ wides. And for those of you out there wondering why I don't have 50 different tourniquets on my website, I try to just keep my stuff focused on the entire family. Like my company, we focus on everyday preparedness. And for me personally, I got kids, I got little kids, and I want all my equipment, especially bleed stopping devices such as these, to work on anything from a buddy of mine that's my size or myself all the way down to my littlest child. You know what I mean? So, and I don't want people to like get confused. Because it is overwhelming. I remember when I started this journey, um, it can get pretty overwhelming. Well, just like the gardening and chickens, it can get overwhelming with the information out there, and you're like, "What the hell do I like? Just show me what I need, dude." Like I just want to get a kit for my family to keep in the vehicles to keep everyone alive. God forbid. So that's kind of what I try to achieve for you guys. Just try to keep it simple.
Or like lawfully, he used his Slishman to help somebody the other day.
Really, that's awesome, Lawfully. Dude, we need a sit rep on that. That's awesome. Oh, and Justin B said medical or rifle. Yeah, man, I gotta get you squared away. I'm definitely probably gonna at least schedule a medical class next upcoming couple of months. Because I'm ready to do one. Those are good. It's good stuff. DB turns help tomatoes with blossom end rot. What is that?
The Tums. The antacid? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is that what you was talking about earlier?
Yeah.
About like if the tomato leaves, all that stuff.
No, blossom end rot is actually if it's inconsistent watering, it's really hot, they won't uptake the nutrients from the soil properly. Blossom end rot is like basically the blossom end of the tomato will start to rot, and it essentially just that tomato is wasted. Just pluck it off of there and chuck it.
I got you. Okay. Bobby Bama, have a good night, brother. He said he's got to go. I hope I'm not too late. I probably am. That was like 5 minutes ago. I'm behind on these comments. I should have you reading comments.
I can't read them. Next
You
time I'll be
probably-
on my computer. I'll be
Well, I
prepared.
was about to say you could probably read them a lot faster than me.
They're like micro sized. The whole sentence is like this big.
I know. And you know, when you're on your phone, because I've done this a lot of times, like with other dudes where I'm the guest, and when you're trying to look at the chat on your phone, it like covers up the screen or whatever, and it kind of freaks you out, or it did me. Robert Ham, my dad planted habaneros one year, and he didn't realize how hot they were. That was the last year he planted them.
Oh, you can plant habanadas. They don't have as much heat. Habanada. And there's not a peno. So if it has nada, like meaning none in the name, and it's a pepper, it means it's like basically a low heat version. They've bred it down, like they've dumbed it down to not be so spicy.
Somebody was being clever. Habanada?
Yes.
Okay, that was just a whiskey talking.
I swear it wasn't. Look it up. It's a real
My
thing.
goodness. Oh man, habanada. Are you pulling my leg?
No, I swear. You Google it right now. You don't believe me?
All right,
Google it.
I'm Googling. I swear to God, I've never heard that.
Type in habanada pepper. I swear to you.
Okay. Habanada. Hobanotta. Pepper.
No.
I'm just,
No. It's Habanada.
I'm kidding. I swear to God, I didn't spell it that way. Whew, sorry, that hit a funny bone. Damn it. My bad. All right. So that is a real thing, apparently. And those
See?
peppers are ugly as shit. I don't know if I would eat one if it was in front of me.
Well,
It's
the
a lot
not-a-pinios
orange.
still look like jalapenos, so.
Whew.
But it's a nice option if you have somebody that, say, you're canning for that is really sensitive to hot peppers. They'll thank you for it.
Okay.
Habanada.
Yeah. Habanada. Forgive me, Lord. That's crazy. I had no idea that was a thing.
Yeah, it's relatively new. It's been out for, I don't know, a few years. Or at least before I found out about it anyhow.
Lawfully Armed said kids' lower blood pressure and narrower limbs usually allow direct pressure to stop arterial bleeds. You know, that's absolutely true. Guys, on children, and I talk a little bit about this in my in-person classes. And I'm sorry, Grace, I just going
No,
off a
go ahead.
Lawfully Armed comment here. You can actually put a thumb right in here on a kid, and actually you can find it on yourself if you want. It pushes on your brachial artery and completely stop flow right there if you need to, like without
So you're actually
anything.
putting a thumb in it, is what you're saying.
Literally. And y'all get your minds out of the gutter. I know exactly where that went. Y'all stop.
Oh my God.
Oh, Miss Sharon, thank you. The Amazon storefront. Yep, got an Amazon storefront. After 3 failed attempts, we finally got one. Fourth time was a charm. Fourth charm was a time.
Yeah. What's in that coffee of yours?
I don't Irish coffee. Did I say coffee? Let's see. Justin B said Scoot. I have done both before. Just want from someone different. Also, it's been a while and want to bring it back. Yeah, Justin B. That's me, man. I like to train with other people. Like you guys have seen Homestead Medical in the chat. I don't know if he's still here or not. But I'm gonna go. He's kind of up north, but I'm gonna go train with him at some point. And just I like mixing it up too, getting other instructors' perspectives and things like that. It's good to do, man. You always are gonna learn something new from different people. Like you're gonna
Absolutely.
pick up an extra little piece of the puzzle, and it just makes you better.
Right. And I mean, it's that way with a lot of stuff. You just kind of glean what you can from each person and do what works for you.
Yeah. Justin B said, my 3-year-old can wrap a Slishman. I love him. Yeah, man, that's
Awesome.
when it comes to like the stop the bleed classes I've taught like at our local fire department. When I teach a class, even though I only sell, now Slishmans and the ETQ wides. I have North American Rescue cat tourniquets. I got the soft T tourniquets. I got rats tourniquets. I got SWAT tees. I got Slishmans. I got the ETQY. I teach with all kinds of different equipment because I want people to understand, you kind of are the weapon and you're just using a tool to achieve or to accomplish the mission. I'll get it out here in a minute. But one of my favorite instructors told me, he said, if you'll do, it'll do. That makes sense. So basically, if you know what you're doing, and that's one reason I use so many different types of tourniquet or teach with so many different types to just kind of give people that confidence and be like, look, you can do this. It don't matter which one of these tools you have, you can achieve it. But what I was getting to is children. Like I've had little girls as young as 9 take my class, and for them being so little, it was always either the rats or the Slishman is what they prefer, and they could achieve arterial occlusion with those. They were solid at it. So and that's one reason I love the Slishman so much. It's really good. Remember to hit that thumbs up. Thanks. Thank you, Miss Sharon. I always forget to tell people that. Kid don't talk much, but medical may be his thing. Hey, man, it could be. That's a future paramedic you got right there, Justin B. Busting out using Slishmans at 3. That's pretty awesome. Scoot, got my Magpul sights from the storefront today. Oh, sweet, dude. You ordered? Yeah, I got Magpul irons on my Amazon store. You are the man, Scoot. Good job, dude. Yeah, you can't go wrong with the Magpuls. Those are good sights. And Justin B, your buddy in Lakeland, Florida is pricey. I will say he is pricey, but I promise you he's worth it, man. That dude, if you look at his training resume, Andrew, and we're talking about Andrew, my buddy that owns and operates Combat Art Training. I met him. Me and him both are Tactical Response alumni, and that's how we met, through Tactical Response training up there. And he's a fucking good dude. He's a Marine, but we forgive him for that. He's still a badass dude. I'm just kidding. He'd probably punch me in the face when I say that to him. We give each other hell. He's Marine infantry. I'm Army infantry. We're way more hardcore than them, by the way. They just try to pretend they're more hardcore. Like after the show posts, it helps the algorithm. Thank you, Scoot. It most certainly does. Let's see. We've kind of covered my other question. We actually ended up jumping into it unintentionally, but we did, about where to buy seeds from.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of reputable seed companies, and there's some that are kind of sus. So I would definitely recommend buying, if you're going to buy, from, check the reviews.
Yeah.
The good ones speak for themselves.
Yeah, and like you and a few others said, like your local, I guess.
Do a seed swap.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, a lot of times that doesn't cost anything. And going to your library, to the seed bank, I mean, it's like you take something, you leave something.
True.
A lot of times there is no cost. So if you're on a really tight budget, that would be 2 really great ways to get seeds that are already acclimated to your growing zone. And I mean, it may wind up being varieties that nobody else carries online.
True. Lawfully Arm said, rest in peace, James Yeager. 100% agree. Rest in peace, James Yeager. He was the owner of Tactical Response. For anybody that don't know, he passed away. I think it was 21 or 22. I don't remember. Robert Ham said, a window licking crayon eater. He's talking about Maureen's right there.
Ooh.
And Robert Ham is a Army Ranger, former Army Ranger, if I'm not mistaken. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Robert. And Grace, what question? I just had a question on the tip of my tongue again. I was about to ask before I start reading comments. I wanted to do the comments because I know I'll forget. I was going to forget one of them, I guess. Robert
That's
Ham
all
said
right. If
correct.
you think about it, just give me a shout.
Yeah, give me just a second. Let's see. And we're creeping up, or actually, we just hit 2 hours, so we'll probably cut her off here. And besides, I've went through all my questions I got so far. Dadgummit, what was I going to ask about the seeds? You were talking about seed swapping.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I know what I was about to ask. Okay. So like cucumber, tomato seeds. I'm just going to use those as example, or pepper seeds.
Okay.
When you're getting seeds from your peppers or whatever plant,
Mm-hmm.
how like when you cut your tomato open or pepper, uh, what's the process you need to use for like storing your seeds? Like, is there a
Okay. So
process?
yes. So for
Okay.
seed saving from things that are kind of like slimy in the middle, like tomatoes, cucumbers, that kind of stuff, you have to soak those. And
Okay. You have to soak them.
that slimy stuff around them will fall away from the
Okay.
actual seed. Once that happens, it's almost like it kind of puts you in mind of a fermentation, but not. And usually it takes a few days, but then you rinse your seeds really good, and then you lay them out like on a like wax paper or something non-stick. Don't do it on a paper towel because you're going to wind up with bits of paper towel stuck to your seeds. Like a waxed paper plate or wax
Okay.
paper. Lay them out single layer, let them dry. But as far as like pepper seeds, those things you just let it fully mature from the best plant, from the best pepper on that plant. And then
Okay.
you pluck it, you cut it open. I mean, you can still eat the pepper, just save the seeds inside of it. Single layer, same process, only you don't have to soak the slimy stuff off. It has a technical name and it escapes me, but yeah.
Okay. I
That's how
laughed
you
about
do
that.
it.
I laughed about that a second ago because when when I worked a normal job when I was an engineer, I had a few buddies up there that like had gardens. One of them brought some
Mhm.
peppers. I cut one of the peppers open, and see, I did not know this process. I had no idea. First off, I didn't soak them. Second off, all the slimy shit on them, on the seeds. I ended. I laughed because you said to put it on a well, like wax paper or something like that.
Mhm.
I put it directly on paper towels, and it like
Oh
fucked the
no.
seeds up. It was
Oh
horrible.
man.
It was horrible, and it was just further discouragement to me. Like I have no idea what I'm doing here. I don't. I probably don't need to be doing this.
No, and don't let it
But
discourage you
that
because
was why
my
I laughed.
first year was it that's pretty much how that process went because I'm like, oh yeah, I got this figured out. And it's like I just kind of flew by the seat of my pants that year and lessons were learned, I will say.
Yeah, yeah. Someone had told me you just want to cut them out and dry them. Like that's all I was
Yeah,
told at first, and my dumb ass
absolutely.
didn't
If
Google
they're
or
not
anything.
completely if they're not completely dry before you store them, they will mold. And you're
Yeah,
not gonna have any seeds.
yeah. I totally destroyed them all. So don't do what I did. Do what Grace says. Okay. I think that covers my questions, everything I had, plus some on my notes. Does anyone else in the chat that may happen to still be in here have any questions or anything to add to what we've talked about tonight? I'll give that just a second. I really wish I had like some of that, that music that's on, what is it? That show.
Jeopardy?
Maybe so. I think it's Jeopardy. The music where you're like thinking, the thinking music.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just take a
Guys,
drink.
don't forget to get your coffee mugs. I know I'm actually
Mm.
out of whiskey in my glass. You know what?
I already did a refill. My coffee
We'll
mug's
do.
supposed to be here Monday too.
I know I've actually did 2 slight refills on my whiskey. We'll do one more, just a little one for the fam.
I'm chasing mine with water.
Are you really? I guess
Yeah.
I'm using coffee for my chaser.
That's what's in it. That's what's in this.
Let's see. Yep, Miss Sharon. Thank everybody for hanging out with us. Scoot said, good questions. Sister Krista, so y'all have a good evening. Oh, Scoot said just one more, and the ticker is going. It is coming on in. Lawfully Armed shot one out there. Does feeding the chickens what the flip capsicum seeds season the eggs?
Read that again.
Okay. Does feeding the chickens capsicum eggs? I'm probably fucking that all up. Season the eggs.
No, it doesn't. And chickens don't have taste buds, like they can't taste heat. You could feed them the hottest pepper and it's not going to affect them. A lot of people will put hot pepper, like red pepper flakes in the feed, oregano in the feed. I put DE and oregano in my chicken's feed because the DE kind of acts like a wormer, and the oregano kind of like bolsters their immune system. And also the red pepper flakes, the capsicum, that it does that too.
Okay.
But yeah,
well,
I haven't noticed it like affecting the flavor of the egg.
I got you. Well, that's good. Well, all right. Well, shoot. I guess we will call it right there. And if you got anything else, Grace, are you good to go?
I'm good to go, sir.
All right. Well, guys, I appreciate y'all hanging out with us. If you do have further questions, you watch us later, think about something, drop it in the comments or email Miss Grace. Go subscribe to her channel, all that good stuff. And guys, yeah, there goes Scoot. Roll the outro. Yeah, I'm gonna roll my non-existent outro. But guys, thank you so much for hanging out. And guys, God bless. Y'all be safe. Have a good week. And we will talk to you later.
Night, y'all.
See ya.